NFS, NFS. We the best, we the best. NFS, we get those foes rocking right out of your chest like this.
Yeah, it's cool. But
yeah, no, it definitely was.
I feel like if I don't have a full purpose, I never cared to do radio.
No.
Right? I did that.
You know the ironic part about it?
What?
NFS was supposed to be radio.
I know, yeah, it was. The irony, but I was like, the one reason it didn't work out for that was because we didn't care to be radio. We didn't care to be talking about what's moving. We wanted to be what is moving. So so again, full circle of kind of going back into what we're doing. I don't even know if we need to make it to 21 weeks. I don't know. I feel like this could be the last one. Honestly, it's just moving on to other things. Again, like we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, we've done it.
We've done it. We figured out that we're not passionate about it, and it's not about. And it's the understanding of to quit something that you're not truly in love with is fine.
Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. And I think not many people can actually comprehend that. It's the fact that we've been doing this for 20 weeks now, and then you should just keep going since you're already 20 weeks in. No,
exactly. Things are very seniority based, where it's you put so much time in, you should continue, you'll get better. And it's not about getting better. Again, we were trying something because something that was hey, everyone told us to do this. We never cared. We pushed this off for years, and now it's kind of we're at this point where it's I think we understand why we pushed it off for years because at the same time with the careers that we are pushing, we are also trying not to be as problematic as possible because again, the industry is in a certain level of a sensitive space where to talk freely and also try to do your other pursuits won't really work as well in your favor, especially when you don't already have an established name as potentially being a whatever our type of personality.
Exactly.
So I feel like this would be something to potentially come back into the future. At the end of the day, we're putting it aside and all that.
We can revisit it. This isn't a fucking
It's not end all be all. Nothing is end all be all, especially in the world of art.
Fuck no.
I'd rather build up more of my stories to have dumber things to tell people that I've gone through.
Instead of the weekly, what do you want you to talk about again?
Yeah, and trying to constantly figure out what the fuck we're going to talk about because at the same time we're trying to talk about things that we are trying to do. But the one thing that I know in my mind is when I try to talk about what I am trying to do, it usually it's weird because it usually just kind of slows things down. It kind of messes things up for me. Yes. I don't know. That honestly is just a mental thing. I don't know. At the same time, I look at it as a spiritual thing. It's just don't talk about what you're doing, just do it. So
yeah. No, I feel because with me personally, again, I'm in the same boat as you. I got a whole bunch of shit that's lined up and shit, right? But in order for me to I can't tell people what I'm doing until it's actually done.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt the same way, but
well, that's for me. That's why I say I'm I don't know, some kind of jinx. Who knows? For certain people who don't believe in the whole spirituality and thing, you guys could just look at it as it's a mental stigma of whatever. But yeah, I find but at the same time, I even look at it because I remember actually there was an interview with J. Cole, and he was talking about him doing, I think it was the second album, was the Friday Night Lights sideline story, and he was saying. He didn't end up, or it took him so long to do that album because he was doing so many interviews talking about doing the album that he never actually made time to do it. Because the thing about it is I understand I guess it's at a level of perfectionism where if you talk too much about something, you build up the anticipation and the expectation levels of people, and everyone expects it to be the most dope thing in the world. And at the end of the day, there is no album that will be that dope. Hence why I believe Detox will never come out. Detox has been talked about so much that it has this level of hype that people expect it to be the greatest thing ever. And in my mind, I'm what the fuck is the greatest thing ever? What is the greatest track? Dr. Dre is a dope fucking producer. And he's a dope, at the end of the day, dope artist. To make this album that everyone is expecting to be the greatest thing ever is impossible. We are all different. We are all going to hear it. And if, like, let's theoretically say it came out, it will not be the greatest album. You will be greatly disappointed. Because
like you put up so much hype in the beginning.
Well, it's just because you anticipate so many things of how it should sound. Everyone has this level of how it should sound. And if it does, damn it, fucking notifications. And if it comes out and it doesn't have those certain things that you wanted in it specifically, it's not going to be great. We've been waiting for Detox since like the late 90s.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to come out in the late 90s. It was supposed to come up because Chronic 2001 was essentially never supposed to exist. But
no.
Yeah. So with just knowing that, it's kind of like, all right. Yeah. There was so much talks around it. It killed it.
Yeah.
For J. Cole.
It really did.
For J. Cole, it almost killed it until he realized, let me step back and actually start working because I'm talking too much about this shit.
Yeah.
So that kind of just that's to make a long story even longer. That is why we're not going to kill ourselves and force ourselves to do this, because at the end of the day, I came to understanding. There was another thing I heard and I actually agreed with it, and I love it. And it's the fact that I'm like, I prefer not to call myself a content creator. I am an artist. I'll leave the content creators to the bland marketers and people who don't really care about this. This is art, so. When the art isn't speaking to me, why am I here trying to force it?
Yes.
I'd rather do the things that I love, because I am lucky enough to say that I've been blessed with more than one talent and blessed and happy to and love to do more than one thing, that I can switch around. And the audience that decides to follow me can watch that journey rather than painstakingly listen to me try and figure out something to fucking say for a half hour or an hour.
Or, majority of I swear to God, majority of our audio is always going to be,
Well, I mean, there's ways where we can, there's whole thing, I just don't care to cut it down and just fix all that shit up, because I'm just like, oh my God.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
That's why half the time, when you're mastering this shit, I was like, I don't want him to do this, so I'll do some of it, and halfway through I'm like, he can figure out the rest.
Yeah, it's whatever. Because I'm like, it's not hard. It's not like the hardest thing in the world to do. I'm not gonna act like I'm the biggest studio in the world, and I'm like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know not of what the fuck I do. I'm an artist. Sorry, I just do random shit, and I will call that forever. I am an artist, and I like to just create shit. Perfection? I'll figure that shit out later. But yeah.
No, but fundamentally, I've actually taken that concept of perfection out of my dictionary, only because, for me personally, every time I think of, it has to be perfect or it has to be some type of way, I end up overthinking and not doing anything. So I've actually just dropped that and said, okay, fundamentally, I'm just finding an excuse not to do it.
Yeah.
And I look back at the shit that even I'm doing right now, and I'm like, okay, yeah, so it was me trying to find reasons not to do it instead of just jumping right in and just saying fuck it.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I'm like a 50-50. Because I'm still very much a perfectionist in many of the other avenues that I tend to jump in, because again, as I say, with talking to people about what you're creating and their anticipation or their expectation of how it should look and thing, I have the same thing where I will write something and I will visualize something grand for it.
I have that.
Because I have the Red Rover, because I have my Red Rover music video shot and done, right?
Yeah.
As you know, I told you about the original idea. And so it's going from the original idea to going to what I had to shoot, because pretty much everything kept falling apart. I have it there and it's halfway finished, but I'm just I don't like it. It's good, but it's not what I want. And I don't want to keep putting out I don't want to keep putting out something that I don't actually like or love. Yeah. and I need to love it before I can give it out to other people. You don't bring out that shit that you're like, it's all right. What do you think of it? Yes, people will be like, oh, it's cool. But then it's just like, here's a product that when you come out proud, you tend to influence everybody else to feel like, this actually is pretty good. Like, hey, he put a lot of time into it. Whether you like it or not, like, well, he put a lot of time into it. It's kind of cool, but whatever. But at the same time, you could love it just as much because I understand that shit works. When you put your energy and your positivity into something, I can tell you it will come back to you tenfold because A-squared knows.
Oh, fuck yes.
A-squared knows. Fucking Insomnia, my first singing single that I ever put out. I was so hype and so like, I put so much passion into that. And I'm not even talking about singing wise, just how excited and how happy I was for that when I put that shit out, the reaction to a degree scared the fuck out of me because I didn't understand why everyone else loved it. And I still don't because I understood exactly why the fuck I loved this shit. A-squared was hating, but yeah.
I didn't really.
He was hating. Either way.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Either way, I loved that fucking song so much that when it came to other people coming to the same level and joining me in that, it was great. It was crazy. It was just such a whole new feeling because again, I'm like, I was putting out music. I put out 2 projects prior to that. And you got that, like, you didn't get that kind of feeling. You didn't feel like putting out those 2 projects before didn't make me feel like an artist or it made me like, okay, I won't say that. Like I've always felt like an artist, but I didn't feel like as if my art was truly appreciated.
Or was it one of those like you didn't feel like it was going in a direction kind of thing, right? Because like
it wasn't that it wasn't even going in a direction. It was going in a direction. Okay. I mean, the second project that I put out when I was with the next group, that shit was like like shooting in the dark with my like
from what I fucking remember,
with like a broken left hand. Like I still did my thing, but I was like, I don't know the fuck where we're going with this shit, and it was trash. Like I hated it. I hated what I was doing and everything that I was writing about because I'm like, this is not me. But the project that me and you did, I was cool with it because again, that was who we were in that time and who we believed we wanted to be or whatever. But it was either way, that was something that we controlled. So when it came to those 2 projects, it was like there was the up and down, and then I know I was supposed to do like the whole Slim City project mixtape. But then after, I joined the group and then everything happened, got out of the group. And then that's when I decided I was at that point, the brink. And that's why I'm like, I love, and I'll always have love for Insomnia more than everybody else. Cause that was the song that kept me here doing music, not alive, but kept me here doing music because I remember saying I searched out, or I was like, I was on the brink of quitting and I was just going to go into acting and directing and writing and all that kind of stuff in that world where I say, where I wrote Insomnia, I wrote Till I'm Gone. Insomnia and Till I'm Gone. I wrote those 2 songs and I said, if I don't get a certain reaction, I'm done. And
you got it.
And I got that shit.
The Lord said.
I went and showed everybody that shit. People that gave me the bullshit answer, like, yeah, man, let me know when your mixtape was out. Instead of that, I got that, like, it's like a backhanded compliment.
Such a fucking backhanded compliment, man.
Oh no, not that. No, that's just a straight insult. But I mean, like, I got like a backhanded compliment of like, that's you. Nah, man, that ain't you. Yo, prove it. Like, I got that shit. Like, that's the backhanded compliment, but that's the shit that I needed because then I'm like, because when people are in disbelief, that means, well, at least for this, I'll give people that warning. I'm like, when people act like that with that just means that you actually sound like a professional artist. Like, they place you in the world of actual artists, the A-list, the B-list, and all of those guys. Yeah. Where I was when, sadly to say, doing the NFS mixtape and the other project and New North project shit, I got the oh yeah, no, that's dope. Yo, it's dope. Let me know when the mixtape's out. Which means nobody gives a fuck, and they do not place you as a professional artist. They just place you as they place you as a waste you, and they don't give a fuck. They don't want to hear when your project's out. They don't want to come to your show, and if they do come to your show, they're coming to laugh at you. And yeah, which that was another experience we had.
Oh fuck yeah!
That one bitch. Will remain,
oh my God.
Will remain nameless. Wanted to come watch me fall again. But either way, yeah, I digress. All this to say that we enjoyed this for a small amount of time.
Yeah,
but we realized
it was a good ride.
Yeah, we realized we are not passionate about we're not passionate about this project or this podcast, and we're not putting as much effort in. And to those of you who are appreciative of or did enjoy this, we're sorry. To those of you who didn't like this, we're sorry, I guess.
We're sorry. And, honestly, like, hands down,
but yeah,
thank you for just actually listening to us.
Even if it was for 5 minutes.
But I mean, we passed our 5-minute mark already, so shit. No, but like, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of Randy and myself, like, I honestly was grateful the fact that like we even had X amount of people listening in, or tuning into us, even though it was only for the first like 5 minutes of it. Like for me, it actually solidified what I wanted to do as who I am, and after like 20 of these, realizing more and more that I am more of an artist that is still working on my story, and I want people to follow that journey instead of me just talking about it. Like, I've realized over the years that like I've become more of someone who I can't just say what I'm gonna do and then do it. Like, I'd rather do it first and then like come back and then be like, okay guys, this is what I've done. Like, I've personally
you'd rather talk about it after like the experience of it. Yeah.
Because like I feel like a lot more can happen in between, and I just don't want to pigeonhole myself as an artist to just being like, okay, this is the direction I wanted to go. Like I want to give you, the audience, the listeners, the entire aspect of how I got to where I am, rather than just telling you, hey, I'm going to be doing this today, so we'll see what happens next week.
Plus, we know you don't really want to listen to us. Most of the time, people don't want to listen to unsuccessful people. They rather just, hear from the successful people when they tell you, I made $1 million. So now here, pay me $20 for this book to figure out how to make $1 million. I can give you $100 worth of game without being there. But again, people don't want to listen when you're not successful. So it's all good. It's all good. I mean,
I get it. But like in terms of perspective too, the fact that like there are people listening to us even at this point, like I'm fucking grateful, because that like it still gave me the confidence I needed to like keep going to what I wanted to do. Yeah. And I can never take that away.
Hey, grateful. Again, life experiences. You fail at certain things, but you can learn. Yeah. But it's the best. Like the only way it's like at least it was worth it is if you learn something from it. You learn something from this. We're not good at podcasting.
Oh hell no! We need a direction. We need someone to actually give us like what we need to say.
I don't need nobody to give me nothing, to be honest. Again, my limitation comes from myself, and really what it is again saying, do I care about this?
No,
not really.
Not as much as like people like wanted us to believe, I think.
Well, it's because again, there's a difference of us having our private conversations and people overhearing or, talking with other people. And when you talk to other people, I guess they see that certain level of performance and like, yo, man, you should have a podcast. And the thing about it is, again, there's so many things people tell you should do. And I'll tell you, follow your gut, because if you understand that you will not be good at everything. This is why I never did stand up. And I know I don't seem that funny here, but it was like back in the earlier 20s.
Funny at all.
Make a suck a dick. Anyways, back in early 20s, because I was doing all my skits and doing all my different stuff, people would always come up to me and tell me to do stand up, because I always be busting jokes and all that kind of stuff. And I tell people no. Why? Because stand up takes a different type of funny.
Yes.
I don't think I could entertain a crowd for 5 to 10 minutes like that doing stand-up. Because I'm funny in a different way where I'm like, I like to write out all my shit. And I'm constantly thinking, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do stand-up, and that's fine. I'm not going to try. I understand that that's not my place. There's a bunch of funny-ass comedians out there that got this. So, yeah. Podcasting.
Got your own lane, fam.
Podcasting. You know what? We said, fuck it. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Probably should have followed our guts. But at the same time, we got 20 weeks. Got 20 weeks of content out of it. So it's like, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming. It's coming to an end.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be other stuff to come. So don't look at it as, oh, man, these guys just fucking quit and they're not coming back. Like, I mean, you might be right, but yeah.
No, there's still a whole bunch of collaborative shit that we're going to do, man.
Of course. And NFS doesn't die here. Come on now. NFS has been going on way too fucking long.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But yeah.
Dude, we've been at this for so long, too.
I mean, NFS is just the crew. NFS does whatever it wants. We could go into accounting.
Yeah, exactly.
We could go into accounting if we want and join our neck and join Sander.
Damn. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, no, I'm not going into accounting. I'm fucking terrible at math. I will fuck up everybody's taxes.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So on other news. No.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, man. It's pretty much it. Like I say, I'm actually working on a bunch of stuff. I'm going to the fucking studio.
So am I.
I'm going to the studio tomorrow because this is filmed on, or this is coming out Friday. So yeah, I'm going to the studio tomorrow, and I got to figure out what the fuck I'm doing because I kind of was like preemptive. I'm like, hey, I need a studio session this Saturday. And he's like, all right. And I'm like, cool. And then I went and looked at my shit. And I'm like, I got a lot of songs. I don't know what the fuck I actually want to record.
Oh my God.
So yeah. You know, pretty much it's just going to be a day of just recording a lot of shit. I got to finish a lot of songs. That's the next thing of my procrastination. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's.
Well, speaking of which, I got one that actually, I don't know if they're going to come after me soon. So I guess I better start on it now.
I mean, you haven't fucking dropped the song in like forever. So yeah, people are waiting.
Almost 2 years. Okay. Shut up.
Wow. So pretty much
I'm gonna be that type of artist.
Since fucking Want It Back, my nigga. I mean, like Want It Back did okay. It didn't do that great.
No. I know.
By industry standards, you're not even a one-hit wonder, my nigga. Like, let's at least get to that stage to say, yeah, I stopped after, you know, my song hit 1 billion views. Like, shit. This nigga,
that's all he could ever do.
This nigga trying to act like he made the thong song. Like, yo.
Just wait. We'll come back to this.
I mean, I hope so. Fuck, who knows? But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it. We love you guys. Yeah. We're gonna continue to do stuff.
Love you guys.
Follow us on our separate channels and everything. Of course, we're like, you know, you guys stay here on WaterDrop Studio, as well as follow me on Randy Music for music. But if you don't want music, you want skits and stupid shit from me, go to Simple Delusions and become a simpleton.
Mm-hmm. You know the funny thing is, after all 20 episodes, this is the only time we've actually plugged you in live, or when we're doing this.
What? On my channel?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think this was the only time we ever actually fucking like plugged you in.
I don't know, because I've been ashamed of myself, so I don't talk about myself.
And that's why you did a podcast with me?
Yeah. No.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen.
The irony of me, like, I love to tell stories. I do not really like to talk about myself or current matters that are happening in my life. I hate talking about current shit. Frankly, I hate a lot of things that involve me. I am the embodiment of an artist. You want to hear? I am so fucked up. You want to hear about me? Listen to my music. You want to talk to me about me? You're not going to get it.
No.
You're going to end up just talking about yourself. Trust me. I can flip shit around and make you end up telling your stories. And then I'll make a song about it. So,
inspired by.
Yeah. No, I dread talking about myself and my emotions in most cases.
Yeah.
So that's why a podcast is probably like the worst. It's like the worst idea we could come up with.
Hey, but we did it.
It
man.
all
Look.
starts breaking down. The wall, these fucking shitty ass shack walls are falling apart. We didn't even build a great foundation.
No.
I mean, we tried.
Well, we had a foundation, and all of a sudden it was just, all right, what do we do next? We've got the base.
It was like foundation on a swamp, my nigga.
I know.
It was never a good idea, but hey, we tried something. At the end of the day, I hope everybody enjoyed for the times that they were here.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're mad that we're leaving, but I'm not, so.
Nope. I want to do what I want, like, honestly, and...
This was exactly. I'm like, don't worry, we'll be trying out other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
we're always gonna
maybe a
be
dance
the
crew
two idiots
next.
trying shit.
I mean, we've already done that.
We haven't done a dance crew yet.
Not together.
Yeah, see.
I mean, we've been part of different dance crews.
I know.
Yep.
Speaking of which, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
You want to try that next?
yeah, you're not exactly close by. You're not even like the next province over. So, yeah, no, I'm good.
God no. All right, fine. You know what? Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. Because I ain't flying over to fucking dance with you, nigga. What the fuck? Fucking go all the way to fucking Saskatchewan to fucking dance. Nah, I'm cool.
Shit.
Will I ever dance? I wonder, like, that's a question. Like, will I ever dance again? Will you ever dance again?
Actually, you know what?
Dance with my father. Okay, I'm sorry. It was running through my mind. I'm like, I have to.
Oh
do
my
it.
God, the cliches fucking debuts. I hear that song, man.
Of course. Did they play that at you? Did they play that at your sister's debut?
Yeah, they did.
I can't even.
I was like, oh, there it is.
I can't even remember. I remember we performed. I just remember performing, and honestly, everything after that was like, yeah.
Yeah, I remember performing, and then all the other fun shit right after.
Yeah, I forgot there was other shit, but I don't want to talk about it and incriminate just in case.
If she ever finds this out, you're like, what the hell were you guys talking about?
Not even that. I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to.
Yeah, I know.
Like I said, I'm trying to keep everybody safe.
Yep.
It's nothing. It's nothing like that bad, but you know.
No.
At the same time, parents, if they hear some shit, I mean, families, it's just it takes one of those asshole cousins just to be like, what? Oh, did she hear?
Watch, the moment we're done recording this is like all of a sudden I get a message. It's like, what were you guys talking about? We haven't even
Smoking
posted
crack.
this yet.
Huh? I mean,
no, that was actually our last performance together.
yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was it? Yes,
Yeah.
it was. All right.
Because after that, I ran away from you and said, yeah, fuck this shit.
Yeah, he ran away to fucking Saskatchewan. What a pussy.
Traitor!
Where music goes to die.
And ironically, I released a single 2 years ago.
Because of who? Let the people know.
Yes, it's because of Randy Bell. God damn.
I'm like, yeah, bitch.
You want to make music again?
Give
Sure.
me my fucking credit, nigga.
No, of course, man. All credit goes to you, man.
I start careers, nigga. Don't you know? No. They don't go nowhere, but I start them. That's why I start them. I don't finish them. I don't even get halfway with them. I just start. I give you that one track and say go, and then everybody stops, and I'm like, wow, fuck.
Wow, everyone listens to me, but then I have to actually lead this? Fuck.
I'm sorry, my back hurts. Can't carry everybody forever. Choking on water here.
Says carrying everyone. Shit, man.
Hey, I'm just saying, I love my friends.
I know.
That's it.
That's all you're ever going to say.
I won't even lie. There's a lengthy paragraph after that shit, and man, you don't even understand. I'm gonna end it at the starting sentence. I love my friends. ...
I have a weird feeling. I know what's after the ...
Oh, you fucking better know.
Man, where do we start? We're like, it's our last episode, so might as well air everything out in the next like fucking half hour.
We don't got that kind of time.
No, we don't. I'm fucking around.
Like I told you, it's a lengthy paragraph. You know when those
fuck yeah.
you know when those scrolls, when it's like the comedic ones, when they just kind of drop that bottom on it and it just goes and it just keeps going. That's that type of shit right there. So just know, I love my friends, and maybe we'll leave that as a letter for another day. When I'm feeling real spicy, you know what I'm saying?
Oof.
But yeah, besides that shit, man, I don't know, just, hey, check us out. Like I said, check A-squared out and Lotus on WaterDrop Studios. Check me out on Simple Delusions and Randy Bell Music. All pretty much everything else is the same thing as Simple Delusions as well as Randy Bell Music on TikTok, Twitter. But I'd say more so follow Randy Bell Music for all the other stuff because, yeah, I'm slowly just fusing it.
Yeah. Well, I'm A-squared, so just check me out at A-squared Music on every other social. You guys already know this is WaterDrop Studios. This is what Lotus and I have created here. So
Together.
we'll see you guys around.
So
What was that?
said together. You guys created
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, I guess.
From the elemental past.
Oof. Don't remind me. It's still stuck there.
Yep.
Oh, God.
So
I just want out of it, man. All I want is just that. So subscribe to my channel so that I can get out of the element.
exactly. See, look at that shit right there. You should be writing that shit down. Yo, you should make that your fucking album, Journey Out of the Element. Fucking fire.
Ironically, I actually have that as a working title.
He's not going to do it because he's working on Detox right now with Dr. Dre.
Jesus Christ. At least he didn't say R9, but cool.
R9?
The supposed Rihanna album that's supposed to drop that everyone's anticipating.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
But,
well, apparently, it was like sort of like
I'd be more understandable for Detox, just because Detox has been talked about for so long, and it was just like
2 decades of talking.
The thing about it is, again, Detox came out. They said, "Yo, Detox is coming," but then it didn't come out. The Chronic 2001 came out instead, and then it kept getting talked about. Now, for Rihanna, I look at it as a different story because you had the Anti album come out, and I actually like the Anti albums. To me, it was one of her best records. But and then after she just went silent, so there wasn't a talk of R9. There wasn't a talk of R9, and then they're like, okay, fuck, we got to put something out because there's too much hype being built around R9, so we gotta put out the Anti album. It was just more like, here's Anti, and then people are essentially just waiting for a next album.
Yeah.
But then after seeing how successful she's been and doing the Fenty line and all that stuff, I'm kind of like, to me, it was like, I kind of understand. Hey, if your mind, again, just like us right now, if your mind is in some other places, she's successful. She doesn't have to work that hard. She doesn't have to work that hard for the music, and maybe she's not that passionate about it. So do you want to force trash?
Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. The last 20 episodes haven't been trash, right, Randy?
I'm not talking about us.
I know.
Again, I'm talking about just say if something was good or something was great even, and now they took a break and they might not come back. Are you really trying to force some bullshit to come out just so you can say we heard it? And then when you hear it, you're pissed off and you try to curse them out to say, why the hell would you do this? You were the one and all that kind of shit. So it's like, nah, bro. So if R9 does come out, it comes out. But at the same time, I'm like, no, Detox. I'd rather say Detox because,
yeah,
that was anticipated.
I agree. Also, speaking of albums that are supposed to come out, Kendrick has been on the Twitter buzz lately too.
Well, yeah, because Damn came out around this time. So people are kind of expecting them to come out now, but I feel right now it's a waiting game between.
I pretty much think so. Yeah,
it's between Kendrick and Drake dropping.
Oh yeah, Drake was supposed to drop too. Shit.
Drake is as per source of DJ Academics, allegedly he had said that he was going to come out latest by April. So the album could drop this month late because apparently he wants to drop it before summer. But I don't know what the whole situation is for the waiting.
Yeah.
Kendrick, as far as I can remember, Kendrick either will drop this quarter or will drop in the last quarter of the year.
Yeah. I have a feeling about that too.
And J. Cole, I don't know. I hate that.
Head in the clouds, man.
I hate that J. Cole is like so overlooked.
Very.
But you know the funny thing about it is to look at the three, it's kind of like you have the good, the bad, and the neutral. And I think that's the issue for J. Cole is the fact that he is in the middle, where he is neither enemy with Kendrick or neither enemy with Drake, where those two are essentially butting heads. That is just kind of like so Jay just kind of gets overlooked, even though he's actually a really dope rapper as well. He is on the level of those two. Even when he does stadium shows too, but it's just like when you talk about the two, when you talk about the three titans of the game, it's kind of like you kind of overlook one. And I'm like,
I know. It's like he's in the sidelines, but he's not really in the sidelines. Like he's out there with the titans.
Yeah, no, he's managed to hold his own.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like I won't say I loved every album, but I've loved majority album. I feel like everybody kind of agrees in not loving For Your Eyes Only. It wasn't a horrible album, but it wasn't one of the stronger ones.
No. I don't know. Actually, looking back at it, KOD really grew on me. I actually was bopping it the other day. Yeah. So.
KOD was a good album. I feel like, you know what? It was just like like you went off of 2014 Forest Hill Drive. That shit was like crazy and I loved it.
Phenomenal.
I don't care what anybody says. I loved it. Talking about myself. And then after you have something like For Your Eyes Only come out, which kind of flopped, and then after it was like KOD, and KOD wasn't as hype as 2014. But I know I liked a lot of songs on it. Like I actually liked Kevin's Heart. That was one of my favorite songs, of course. Just because I'm like I'm melody based, so yeah, melodies and all the melodies, the beat and all that kind of shit was just dope to me. I loved it. But that album was actually dope. I won't say I'm a fan of the Revenge of the Dreamers projects.
Ooh. It was good listening to it, but I actually never revisited Revenge of the Dreamers after it came out.
I didn't enjoy listening to it.
No?
I enjoyed watching the documentary more than I enjoyed listening to it. The documentary was so dope. Again, it's like getting to see the experience of the bigger artist, but it's just like the same thing, but it's just getting that old school kind of vibe, the 90s vibe of everybody just jumping into other people's studios and kind of thing like that. And like seeing that collaboration was so dope. And, you know, it just seemed so fun and it was cool. But then it didn't feel like that energy translated onto the project because they cut so many other projects out that I was like, I don't know. So yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed the fucking documentary, but the project for itself, nah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I remember because like I never actually got to see the documentary. I actually just ended up listening to the album, and I was like, So we got a bunch of people together and then just collaborated on something. So I never ended up revisiting it after listening to it.
Yeah, I tried.
Twice over?
I tried listening to it a couple of times, but yeah, it didn't work for me. I can't remember because there were certain songs that I liked on it. Like let me see.
Yeah. It was. It was Dreamers 3.
Yeah, it was 1993. 1993 to me embodied like what that whole atmosphere was like, where it was just
yes.
At least I'm gonna say the fun aspects of it. I feel like. If they had made that project focusing on the atmospheres of each room and conversations that everybody's having and things like that, it probably would have made this doper, but I don't know. I couldn't fully fall in love with it as much as I wanted to because I'm like there were some dope ones. 1993, I liked Sleep Deprived. I liked.
I like Sleep Deprived too.
I know people liked Wells Fargo Interlude, but I didn't really like it. But at the same time, I feel like sadly to say, one of the reasons I don't think I actually cared or liked it or even understood it was because I didn't know what Wells Fargo was back then.
The bank.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't watch fucking America like that or the States like that, nigga. Like, yeah.
No, you just see it in businesses and shit. So whatever.
Honestly, I don't pay attention to a lot of this shit. But yeah, so I was like, okay. There was like a bunch of other songs that I liked on it. But either way, I digress. And either way, I say, I'm like, yo, give J. Cole his credit and his flowers and all that shit. He is as everybody. I'm like, yeah, the 3-year thing. So I'm like, all three of those. So this should be a great year because we have J. Cole, we have Kendrick Lamar. For those of you who are big fans of Drake, we have Drake. We have SZA.
SZA.
Silk Sonic. So that's already 5 albums that are supposed to come out this year.
Oof.
Allegedly.
Hopefully they come out.
Allegedly. Because at this point,
that's what I'm hoping.
I have no fucking
As a fan
idea.
of the music, I was like, yeah, I hope they come out. But otherwise, like, you know.
Yeah, no, as a fan of that, I'm like, I do want to hear those projects. So, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, definitely.
You know what's messed up is like it's the last episode when you have everything to say.
Right?
When you know you're gonna end it, that's when you're like, yeah, I'm gonna talk freely and do all my shit. But then you're just like, that's because it's the last day, nigga. Taking old Yeller out in the back, bitch. Anybody who
the difference between this last day of us like doing this the last day is the fact that I don't get left with the mess.
What mess do you get left with, nigga? I'm the one who's doing the edits for this shit.
Never mind. I'll tell you off screen or off air.
Well, either way, yeah.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. For those of you, again, who hope you enjoyed, I hope that you guys continue to follow us and continue to join us on our journey, as we will be doing a lot.
Yeah.
And this will be the last time you're hearing that we're doing it a lot, and you will just be seeing what we are doing.
Yes. So, definitely. So, yeah.
Like I say, I get great advice, but I'm not always right. Follow your instincts. It will always lead you in the right way. My name is Randy Bell.
And I'm always going to be A-squared.
And this is the last episode of the NFS Podcast. So peace. Easy.
Peace.